relationship like, and how excited are you to take on the challenge of him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've known Hunter since, we were both little. Obviously, he's younger than me, but, we both played for Team Takeover. And, even when I was a senior, when we were playing 17U, we would practice against his team because his team was, probably one of the best Takeover teams there's been. Guys like Jeremy Roach and other people who are doing really, really well. So, yeah, no, I've known him for a while. We've always, worked out against each other and battled and played in practice and stuff like that. So, it's really impressive to see what he's done so far. But, I think anybody from the DMV would have told you that was going to happen. He's been very elite for a while.
The next question from Tom Kakert.
Luka, how are you viewing this week? A real opportunity for you guys on a national stage against the number 3 and the number 4 teams in the country.
And I think these are two opportunities, for us to get a lot better. We're playing in, at two of the best teams in the country. Two of the best offenses. It's really going to test our defense, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is to continue this consistency on the defensive end that we've had in these last couple games.
The next question, Luka, from Don Doxey.
Yeah, Luka, I know you worked with Hunter a lot just last spring during the pandemic. What kind of stuff did you guys do, and how often did you do that?
I think, we definitely worked out a lot. I also worked out a lot with Jalen Smith, so it was kind of, one or the other, and during the time I was back home. But, I think, he's a guy who, he's great in the post, but has nice touch, has a nice jumper, and his ability to stretch it out as well. And I'm similar in that way. And so, just, working on our games with our, head coach from our, AAU team, Keith Stevens. So, we're just, battling, sometimes playing, ones or whatever the case may be. But, we definitely got some, good work in against each other. But, it's been awesome to see what he's been able to do so far in his career.
Next question, Luka, from Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Luka, I assume that since Jordan got the assist on your record-setting basket, you're going to get the basket on his record-setting assist. Did you guys work that out?
And no, we haven't, but that would be special. Hopefully, it works out that way. But I think he'll take it any way it comes. What's it
been like to play with him for these last 3 years?
It's been amazing. I think He's taught me so much. He's helped me a lot, and especially when I was a freshman, and just growing together through having 14 and 19 season to becoming an NCAA tournament team, and obviously now one of the best teams in the country. It's been a journey, and it's been a pleasure to have him, at the helm at the point guard spot. And he's done such a terrific job over his career of finding people, but also being able to find himself and score the ball, and it's been impressive to say the least. So, I'm very lucky, like I always say, to have the teammates that I do have, and Jordan Bohannon is one of those guys who I've been really lucky and fortunate to play with.
Look at the next question from Destiny Cook.
Hi, Luka. I just had a question. So, I found that there was a rise in mental health concerns in student athletes, especially during COVID. So, I just wanted to know if you noticed any of your teammates being affected by the balance of being a student athlete while handling this pandemic, just being mentally exhausted with passes, game schedule changes, and pandemic procedures within the program.
Yeah, that's a terrific question. I think. It's been the hardest year in terms of, like you said, student athletes having to deal with, the mental health aspect of the game. We don't have the normal, balance of our lives that we usually do. And while being concerned about not getting COVID and trying to be, as healthy as you can be and control what you control and being ultimately focused on, in your individual team and your success. It's definitely been, a different year than any other for, all of us. There's, and it's been awesome to see our team just really, be, able to come in every day and have a great mindset and focus on continuing to improve. And so I think I haven't really seen, too many negative, effects, in that aspect. But I think, a lot of guys are really I think we've grown closer together through this. I think sometimes you'll have guys who are friends with other people outside of the program or regular students or whatever the case may be. But this year, you really can't. You have to be locked into, the people you're around, your social circle, and all of that. And I think that's grown our team together more. And I think, as a team, if you go through something like this, I think it just, kind of boosts, your ability to push through adversity. So I think everybody's mental health, from my standpoint, is in a really good spot. And I think we're continuing to improve that just, by being together and having fun.
Luka, the next question from Mike O'Brien.
Luka, we've been on a couple months of playing in front of thousands of cardboard fans. I'm just curious, in practice or in games, I know your focus is somewhat on the court. Have any of those fans caught your eye? I know there's kind of a big range of pets and fans doing funny poses. And obviously, given DC, I know your dad's at most, if not every game. Any family or friends that are somewhere in the crowd that you've been able to locate?
Honestly, I don't think I have any family or friends of the program. Thomas Deach was a friend of the program. Was a part of our program for a couple of years, and he had a cutout at one point that we noticed in the beginning of the year. But I think I've looked at some of the dogs or the animals more than the people. I think so. I'm not really sure which ones I focus on the most. But it's definitely cool that we have some sort of way that people can feel like they're there with us and supporting us.
The next question, Luka from Chad Leistico.
Hey, Luka, I feel like when I talked to you in the summer, you were staying in Northern Virginia. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so and he's from Alexandria, I know, which is where my kids were born.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have like a meeting spot where you went? I mean, so you guys were very close in proximity?
Honestly, it's kind of funny. I live in Arlington now, and everyone always travels to Maryland to play. Especially we both play with Team Takeover, and all the practices are in Maryland. Sometimes they'll be, in different high schools in DC, but it's usually always in Maryland. So there was a spot in Maryland that we both went to, because we were both training with, our head coach Keith Stevens. He coached me, he coached him, he coached a lot of really good players from our area. So I think that was really the spot that sometimes I'd work out with him, sometimes I'd work by myself, sometimes I work with Jalen Smith. All of the guys that have been a part of Team Takeover got in that gym and were able to work out during that time. And it definitely was really nice to have that, especially with a lot of gyms closed and different stuff like that. So it was definitely very cool.
So does he know kind of some of your secrets? How to stop you?
I think we played against each other a lot, and I think he definitely knows what my game is. But I think when they're going to prepare for me like every other team and watch film and stuff like that. So I think that he's also going to have that as well, and I'm going to be able to do the same thing. But I think we both know each other's games pretty well.
Got time for one more question for Luka, and Jordan Bohannon is ready, waiting. So final question, Luka, from Jared Greenspan.
Hey, Luka. Just sort of two quick related questions about Hunter. When you guys worked together over the summer, did he seek out any advice, or was there advice that you gave him about the college level? And then did you foresee him making this sort of immediate impact right away in his freshman season?
Honestly, he's been playing, at a very high level of basketball for a while now. When he was in 8th grade, he was playing up, and when he got to high school, he was playing 17s as a freshman, sophomore, and junior, in the EYBL. So I think, he really didn't have that many questions. He's mature beyond his years because of, him, playing at that level. I played 17U after my junior year, but there were always some kids with Takeover that we'd have someone play up, and he played up, quite a bit, and it was impressive. And obviously he went to DeMatha, which is in the best high school league in the country, the WCAC. So every single night he's going against Division I players from different high schools. So when you play at that level of competition, it's no surprise that you see guys from the DMV, exceeding at this level, and it feels like every time I turn on my TV, I'm watching another person that I've played against or I know doing very well. So no, honestly, I wasn't surprised. I think he's a really good player. He's been that way since he was young. He knows how to score the ball. and he's a terrific rebounder. So, you know, I think everyone from the DMV, if you ask anybody from there, you know, if you thought this was coming, you know, you wouldn't be surprised. You know, he's that type of player. He was dominant in high school. He was All-Met Player of the Year, which, you know, that is a tremendous honor, you know, in the DMV. So, you know, it was awesome to see him develop over his years.